With my trip to Taiwan, I decided to go down the west coast, stopping over in Hualien, Taitung City, and a small beach town off the coast. And for the rest of it, I would come up the east coast, going through all the cities. So I started in Taipei, and it was absolutely wonderful. It felt like a mix of China and Japan in terms of the industrialization, but you still got beautiful views outside, and also there was really good food everywhere in local markets, and there were just so many great photo opportunities. There was also really easy ways to get out of the city. Right here I was actually able to go up and find a Buddhist monastery, of course with a cute little cat, but there were just things around every single corner. And the nightlife there was amazing as well. I found quite cool temples and also night markets. The night markets there felt very special. They felt very similar to Southeast Asia, and I really felt like Taiwan was a bit undiscovered in that way. Of course, there were tourists there, but I didn't feel like everything was tourists. There were still a lot of locals, travelers from around Taiwan that were exploring there as well. And that's really what's been drawing me to Taiwan, and what has made it feel so good to travel in, is you get all these beautiful things with still a lot of industrialization. It was very, very easy to get around the country. I had a little card, and I could refill it at 7-Eleven, and I could tap it for most different travel requirements. And that was why I was able to get around and get so much good food, is because I could just take a 20 new Taiwanese dollar bus or tram pretty much anywhere in Taipei. And even when I was going out into the more remote parts, there still were a lot of opportunities where I could use this card. After I was done in Taipei, I made my way down to Hualien, which used to be very popular because there was this national park that was nearby. Unfortunately, a monsoon did come through before I got here, so I wasn't able to go see that, but it was still very, very amazing, getting out of the city and seeing how tightly compact Taiwan really is. There were a lot of villages that you would see when you were going through the mountains, and you would just suddenly pop out and there'd be a whole town. But this was a very, very beautiful train ride down, because just so much to look at, really beautiful, and I would definitely do it again if I could. I would really like to take a bike trip down the west coast. I think it would be very, very beautiful. Found, again, lots of different temples as well, and while coming through, there was just always something new to see every time. When actually getting into Hualien, because the national park wasn't open, I decided to go on a free bus tour with this guy that I met in my hostel. And I thought it was going to be all great. We were going to get a whole day of, free travel. I did not realize that it was only in Mandarin, and it was 8 hours, and we only had standing seats. But we went and we saw some pretty beautiful sights. Actually, they were very random. I will be honest. I wasn't at all what I was expecting, but it was still a great experience, and I think one that other people definitely would not be able to relate to, because yeah, the entire thing was in Mandarin, which at points did drive us a bit crazy, but it was still a wonderful, wonderful trip.
So we just got on a bus in Huailan. Didn't really know where it was going. Turns out it's a tour fully in Mandarin. I don't speak it. And we get to this point where they let us off and go on a hike, and this is the sign that we keep seeing. Which that just is very promising.
Near the end of my stay in Huailan, I wasn't able to make it to my train super early, so I opted for a later train. And this actually ended up with me being able to visit this really cool temple that was just kind of on the outskirts of Huailan. There was nobody else in it, and I was feeling pretty defeated earlier because I felt like Huailan hadn't lived up to what I wanted it to be. But finding this temple really turned my day around. It was such a beautiful sight, and it was all to myself, which felt very, very special. I walked around it for quite a bit before deciding to turn back to go catch my train. But after that, I made my way down to the town of Taitung, and this was closer to the beach and closer down south. And there was actually a really cool hike that I did here. It was called Dulan, and it was the tallest mountain in the area. And you got hiking up through this kind of jungle environment with little to no other people, and you had to almost climb your way up. There were ropes that you would use to pull yourself up, and it was actually a decently difficult hike. I was not expecting the humidity to be that difficult, but it really made it difficult for me. When getting closer to the top, I did also find a ancient ritual spot, or so I was told,